Hello and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred today in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things I personally find intriguing enough for me to bring to you. The source of this information comes from the smart device application on this day. The music in the background is Canary by Jim Yosef, which I found on the YouTube channel No Copyright Sounds, aka NCS. For links to the app, music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar. Now let's get on with the show, shall we? Today is Wednesday, aka Wednesday, November 16th, 2016. In 1997, after nearly 18 years of incarceration, the People's Republic of China released Wei Jingsheng, whom was a pro-democracy dissident, from jail for medical reasons. In 1992, the Hoxne hoard was discovered by metal detectorist Eric Laws in Hoxne, Suffolk. In 1988, in the first open election in over a decade, voters in Pakistan elected populist candidate Benazir Bhutto to be Prime Minister of the country. Also in 1988, the Supreme Soviet of the Estonian Soviet Socialist Republic declared Estonia to be sovereign, but stopped short of declaring independence. In 1979, the first line of the Bucharest Metro, Line M1, was opened from Timpuri Noi to Semen-Ato area in Bucharest, Romania. In 1974, the Arecibo message was broadcasted from the Arecibo radio telescope in Puerto Rico. It was aimed at the current location of the globular star cluster, Messier 13, some 25,000 light-years away. The message is set to reach empty space by the time it finally arrives due to the cluster having moved during the time that will pass. In 1973, U.S. President Richard Nixon signed the Trans-Alaska Pipeline Authorization Act into law, authorizing the construction of the Alaska Pipeline. Also in 1973, during the Skylab program, NASA launched Skylab 4 with a crew of 3 astronauts from Cape Canaveral, Florida, for an 84-day mission. In 1965, during the Venera program, the Soviet Union launched the Venera 3 space probe toward Venus, which would become the first human spacecraft to reach the surface of another planet. In 1945, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, aka UNESCO, was founded. In 1944, during World War II, Operation Queen, the costly Allied thrust to the Ruhr, was launched. In 1943, also during World War II, U.S. bombers struck a hydroelectric power facility and heavy water factory in German-controlled Wehrmacht, Norway. In 1940, New York City's mad bomber George Matisky placed his first bomb at a Manhattan office building used by Consolidated Edison. Also in 1940, during the Holocaust in occupied Poland, the Nazis closed off the Warsaw Ghetto from the outside world. Also in 1940, during World War II, in response to the leveling of Coventry by the German Luftwaffe 2 days prior, the Royal Air Force bombed Hamburg. In 1930, Qantas, Australia's national airline, was founded as Queensland and Northern Territory Aerial Services Limited. In 1914, the Federal Reserve Bank of the United States officially opened. And just for your information, even though it has federal in the name, it is not in any way connected to the government. It is a company completely and totally privately owned and has a 100% monopoly on the economy of the United States of America. In 1907, the Indian Territory and the Oklahoma Territory joined to form Oklahoma, which was then admitted as the 46th U.S. state. In 1904, English engineer John Ambrose Fleming received a patent for the thermionic valve, aka vacuum tube. In 1857, during the Second Relief of Lucknow, 24 Victoria Crosses were awarded, which is the most ever awarded in a single day. In 1855, David Livingstone became the first European to see the Victoria Falls in what is now present-day Zambia, Zimbabwe. In 1849, a Russian court sentenced writer Fyodor Dostoevsky to death for anti-government activities linked to a radical intellectual group. This sentence was later commuted to hard labor. In 1828, during the Greek War of Independence, the London Protocol entailed the creation of an autonomous Greek state under Ottoman suzerainty. encompassing the Morea and the Cyclades. In 1822, Missouri trader William Becknell arrived in Santa Fe, New Mexico, over a route which would become known as the Santa Fe Trail. In 1793, during the French Revolution, 90 anti-Republican Catholic priests were murdered via drowning at Nantes. In 1776, during the American Revolution, the United Provinces, aka Low Countries, recognized the independence of the United States. In 1532, Francisco Pizarro and his men captured Inca Emperor Atahualpa during the Battle of Cajamarca. And in 1272, while traveling during the Ninth Crusade, Prince Edward became the King of England upon the death of Henry III of England, but did not return to England for nearly 2 years to assume the throne. Births: Dick Gross, 1954, Tiberius, 42 BC. And that concludes the show. Once again, you can check the underbar for any links you may be interested in. Don't forget to look right and left at every intersection. You can also rate 5 thumbs and subscribe if you do so wish. For your dose of past events daily, I am Aeoxander, and you are you. Toodles! Also in 1940, during World War II, in response to the leveling of Coventry by the German Luftwaffe 2 days prior, the Royal Air Force bombed Hamburg. Son of a... Morgan, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. I'm actually recording today's show, so I'll be right back, okay?
Right.
Sound muted.